back to the Salty Bible Podcast. It is your host, Scott Zorn, and me, Blair Soto. Today we are on episode 10. Can you believe it?
Double digits.
10
wow.
episodes. Oh my gosh.
You know what's going to be fun? Is
What?
when you hit 100.
Oh my gosh, I can't wait.
It'll be so fun. That's a long way from now, but
It's a long way, but the way we're cruising, I think it'll happen quick. Quicker than we think, maybe.
yeah, a couple of years.
You know, we'll get there.
All right.
So today we're going over Daniel.
We're going to get to Daniel, yeah, as as the prototype of prophets. I mean, there's 17 prophets that we could cover, but I chose Daniel.
Okay.
And we'll get to him in a minute. What I want to do as we get kick started here is to kind of, this is the last one of the Old Testament. So
We made it.
I know. We made it through the dirgy, grimy.
It's looking up from here, everybody. I hope.
Yes.
Good.
In
Good.
fact, everything from here on out, it's looking pretty good.
Okay.
Maybe with one exception. But
Sure.
I just want to give a little shout out to where we've been.
Yeah.
So that we can catch up to the story.
A recap. Good.
Yeah. I think it's helpful because sometimes you kind of get lost in these episodes one at a time and you're like, okay, I forget what happened 2-3 episodes ago.
Yeah.
What was the story of the Bible back there and how does it tie into now? So this is a good quick lightning round recap.
Let's do it.
Can I do that? All right.
I have to think back that far.
I know. I'll do it for you.
Okay, perfect.
You just react.
Help.
React in astonishment.
Okay,
Yeah.
we'll do. Yeah. Got it.
So the first one was all about the beginning of purpose. God creates the heavens and the earth. Adam and Eve puts them in the new temple that is the Garden of Eden and asks them to be co-rulers with him. Ask them to subdue the earth, multiply, do all the good things. A lot of purpose. Formed and filled, right?
I was looking up.
It was good. Yeah. It was formless and empty when he started creation, and then he formed it and filled it and gave us purpose in it. Second episode, we went into the
Not great.
the
Not
pit
great.
of despair, right?
Yes. It all starts really falling apart.
Yeah.
Okay.
It fell apart quick.
Yeah.
So it broke, and that's Genesis 3-11, and all the evil, the murder, the natural death, the unnatural death, the catastrophic death, the spiritual death just kept rolling. But in the midst of all that, God gives grace.
All the signs of grace.
All the signs of grace
Yep.
just kind of rolls out in each of those chapters, each of those big pieces of scripture there that is beautiful how God does that. And there's two main rebellions there that we have to keep in mind all the time. One is the human rebellion. Adam and Eve not obeying God and taking from the tree they shouldn't have. And the spiritual rebellion, which the serpent comes in.
Right.
And the sons of God in Genesis 6 come and sleep with the daughters of men and try to create their own offspring as I don't want to call it a parallel to God.
An attempt at mimicking God.
Yeah.
They were trying to play God, and they can't.
And take over.
They're not God.
But the same rebellion is in both the humans and the spiritual beings, in that the serpent says you will be like God, and so the human beings is like, well, I'll be God myself. I'll determine good and evil for myself.
I can do it.
And the spiritual beings are the same thing. They want to be God. They want to create their own offspring like God created his in creating humans.
Right.
So then there's this tussle between the serpent's offspring and the woman's offspring, and that's the tussle that we see throughout Scripture. It's always going to be there. And the temptation always is going to be, you be like God.
Right.
You do you, as we say it in our culture.
Yes.
Yeah. Your own truth. And I'm like, well, I don't think anybody wants my truth.
To a degree, sure.
Yeah.
But the real truth here is what we're talking about.
Oh, yeah. It's a story.
Yeah.
So the two combined to make a third rebellion. I think I call it a combination rebellion between the humans and the spiritual beings. The Tower of Babel. Let's build a tower and let's worship these gods that are not God.
Right.
Let's make a temple for them, this great tower, and it'll reach the heavens. And there's a lot of theories going on around about what that was, but simply put, it's just an absolute rebellion against God. We'll make a name for ourselves. God's like, can't have that. He scatters the nations. He confuses their languages. According to the sons of God, in Deuteronomy 32, we get a description of that, but I'm getting into season 2 already. I'm so sorry.
This is a recap, not a jump ahead.
Right. It's kind of both, right? So
it's all intertwined.
So they get scattered, and God basically disinherits himself from the nations. He divorces himself from the nations, and he says, "You're not going to do it my way? Okay, fine. Go do it your way. I'll give you these rebellious sons of God to be over you." And they turn into nasty, nasty nations. But I'm going to take one nation as mine. It's going to be Israel. Now, Israel hasn't come on the scene yet. That's the third one we talked about. Abraham, he chooses to be his person, and his family is going to expand, even though his wife is barren.
Yeah.
And he's like, perfect. I need the woman that can't give birth in order to create this incredible offspring that's going to bless the world.
Seems a little counterintuitive, but
it is, but it's his supernatural power. He wants people to know it came from me.
Yep.
Makes not by your power, it's by mine. And so Abraham and Sarah have Isaac, and then Jacob, and then Joseph. And that next story is, Abraham's to bless the nations. And what happens is it gets obstacle after obstacle after obstacle. Like this blessing keeps running into brick walls.
Yeah.
And the biggest brick wall that we can see in the story is the 4th episode we did, which was Joseph. And then we have this Judah Tamar thing tucked in the middle of that story.
Yeah. Just
where Joseph, by it. Yeah. Just blow right over chapter 38.
Yep, no big deal.
No biggie.
The number 38 haunts me now. I think about it all the time.
Do you?
All the time.
It's 38. It's fantastic.
Such a plug.
It is.
Such a beautiful plug that you could easily miss.
Yeah. Oh, and most people do.
Yeah.
But you have this story of Joseph coming to power after he gets sold to slavery by his jealous brothers, and he comes into power for the very purpose of saving his brothers.
Here's a side quest about his brother. Anyway, moving on.
Yeah.
Joseph got arrested. Like, what?
But because of his wisdom and leadership,
yeah,
his ability to interpret dreams, he's able to preserve not just his brothers, but the world, the known world.
Right.
So that is Genesis. And those are the first 4 episodes. And it's a beautiful thing that happens there. And so, preserving his brothers, he preserves Judah. That's why the Judah story is there. You don't have Judah, you don't have Jesus.
Yeah.
So, okay, go Perez, their son that was born.
Right.
Go Perez. He's the man. He's the silent hero in Genesis. We just don't know it.
Right.
Until Ruth, but that's a whole other story.
Always is.
Yeah, exactly. So the 5th one we went over is Moses. And Moses, is 400 years later. The Jews are in slavery to Egypt now. They don't remember who this Joseph guy was. And Moses is called upon to get them out. And so he gets them out through the Red Sea into the desert, led by the Spirit of God himself, the presence of God through cloud and fire, and the temple, not the temple, but the tabernacle, the tent of meeting that kind of leads them through the desert. They're all disobedient. So is Moses. They can't get into the promised land, but the next generation does.
Yes.
And so in that next generation, you have Joshua, episode 6, showing us we're going to go into the land, but God wants to get rid of the giant clans that came out of Genesis 6.
In its entirety.
In its total entirety, but they don't do it.
And they fail.
They fail. And in failing, they're influenced by the giant clans to worship other gods.
Yep.
And that again, that's the story of Scripture that we're going to unravel for you next season in great detail. Can't wait.
It's going to be great.
It is.
I cannot wait for that.
It's going to be so cool. And we've kind of, in our small group, we've kind of, jumped into that quite a bit, the spiritual beings and how that all, affects everything.
Yeah.
So, here we are, Joshua's not getting rid of the giant clans and they're bowing down to other gods, and they take the land, which is good. That's what God wanted them to do. It's a promised land, but it came with bad influences, right? And so the Judges becomes our Dark Ages. That's the next one, number 7. Another bit.
We're back in another pit.
Yep. And they're bad, and the judges get worse and worse and worse and less moral all the way down to Samson. And they come and rescue, but then the rescue doesn't last very long. They have to cry out again. The oppressors come in. It just goes round and round and round and round it goes. And part of Judges, there's this some incredible stories. Ruth being one of them in the Old Testament. Just go to Bible Project. Here, look.
I know.
two distinct stories that we could not cover in this is Ruth and Esther. Okay. Two different parts of the history of Israel, but Ruth and the Judges. Just go to Bible Project and watch Ruth and Esther and watch how those books are structured. They're individual stories tucked away in the history of what we're talking about here. And they're so beautiful.
I don't think I've watched those.
Oh.
So I have to watch those.
I failed you. I apologize.
No, you probably told me to. I
don't know if I did.
Or maybe you.
I don't remember.
I got to think you probably did. In 3 years, come on.
Probably.
You probably did. I probably just like, yeah, totally.
At some point in time.
Or I have watched it. I don't remember. There's so many opportunities
there
for
are.
truth here. Who knows?
But Ruth and Esther are just two great stories.
That tie into
the history of Israel, and they're worth pursuing. But it's even more impressive, the structure system that is in those books. Oh, man.
It's all over this whole Bible.
It's a chiastic structure, and it's just
seeing
gorgeous.
The patterns and the...
Yep. The A, B, C, D, D, C, B, A pattern.
Oh, yeah.
Shows up in those books, too. So it's pretty cool.
Cool.
So after we got out of the pit, we have the one bright spot, Samuel. Sam and I am kind of person. He bridges the gap. He helps Israel as best he can to get back on track. And through the priesthood and through king making, he's a prophet. He's trying to help Israel get back on the right track. And he's a great man, and everybody follows him well. He's the king maker. He anoints the first king Saul and the second king David. And I kind of maybe misspoke a little bit last week. Didn't mean to, but
I put you on the spot.
You did, and I was like, "Oh, my history. Where is it?
Where's
my brain?"
He was alive. We talked about this before we aired. He's like, I think I misspoke.
Yeah, I did.
And we haven't listened to it back yet, so we're honestly not.
Well, I
super
know what
sure.
I said. I know what my brain said, and it stayed with me all this time.
Bothered you?
Yeah. I'm like,
just living in misery.
I was like, did I say that right or not? So I think I misspoke a little bit. It was a tiny bit.
This is a teeny one.
Blair had asked, was Samuel alive when Solomon came on the scene? That I know. No.
And David. I wanted to know about.
David also, he was alive when he anointed David as king. Sure. Obviously, Saul is king, the first king.
Right.
But he did not, at the end of 1 Samuel 25, last chapter, 1 Samuel, he dies. And then 2 Samuel is the story of how David comes into his kingship. So
he didn't even get to see it all play out.
He didn't get to see him come into his kingship, but he anointed him as king.
He saw the rest.
Yes.
And during
at the
Saul's
time
reign.
that he died, basically, David is running away from Saul all the time. Trying to preserve his life.
Rightfully so.
Yeah.
Hey, play this harp and hold still. Like, what?
Hold still. I got an arrow.
Right. Like, that's nuts. That is absolutely crazy. So good thing he's running away. In fact, I'm sure Samuel's like, kid, just go. Don't come back for a while. This guy's lost it.
Just that scene of,
that's crazy.
Hey, play a harp for me.
Play me
so
a
I
song.
can shoot arrows at you. It just reminds me of like a Monty Python movie or something like that.
It's true madness. Like,
it's crazy.
The epitome of madness. Play me a song, boy, and hold still.
Boy,
like, what?
hold still. I'm going to kill you now.
Now, don't move.
I kill you.
And he runs away. Like, what? So, yeah, we conclude Sam is a good dude who never got to see his
No, he didn't
King
get to
David
see
or Solomon.
David reign, but he was the He was the catalyst.
He fulfilled his purpose here.
Yep, he sure did.
Good guy.
Good guy.
That's
we
Sam.
like Sam. Sam and I am. Him and God and the rest of the world. So then we talked about the royal pains last week. Even though Saul, David, Solomon, at some point in time they were a little faithful to God. David more so than anybody else. Solomon in good measure, but always distracted by either power or women or a combination of so. And so that got obviously them in big trouble. Split the country up. Solomon's sons, Jeroboam and Rehoboam, went north and south.
No good kings after that, basically.
They split up.
Just a handful.
Five out of 39,
and
right?
that's like the least of the troubled.
Yeah, because even of the five, several of them
weren't great either.
And it started well, ended bad.
Got it.
Several of them went all the way through good, but not many.
Not many.
Okay. And it divided the kingdom into north and south. One thing I didn't clarify last week was the north was called Israel,
Oh,
The
okay.
south was called Judah.
Oh, I didn't even think to ask that.
Yeah, I
okay.
know. And I didn't say anything about it.
So when
but
they split the land, it was the northern
Israel
half
north,
was Israel.
South Judah.
South Judah.
So that's how you think about those two.
Interesting. Okay.
And in so doing, these kings were bad, and the people were worse, and they weren't worshiping God. They were worshiping all the other gods. So everything that God did not want them to disobey, they did anyway.
That seems to be a theme.
But that is the struggle between the offspring of the serpent and the offspring of the woman. It's this constant battle between the two. It's this constant spiritual battle that's going on in ways that we can't see with our eyes.
Yeah, like our human brains and
but
vision can't understand.
These spiritual beings are behind all the evil that's taking place in Israel and all the seduction that's taking place to get them to worship them instead of God.
Yeah.
And of course, we noted that David was the one that killed the last of the giants, at least so far as we can tell.
Yeah.
There may be a little spittle over here of a giant or two mentioned after David and Goliath, but not much.
Yeah.
Not much at all. That seems to be the last one named.
The last real threat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Of that offspring.
And
so good for you, David. Now we're setting the stage for better things to come. So that kind of brings us to today. Is that a good recap?
I think so. Yeah. Today meaning this episode, not 2025, right?
Right.
Okay. I just want to know.
No.
We're really skipping over it all.
No.
No, that brings us to episode 10.
We're somewhere in the 500 BC range, okay? 586.
Okay. Good to know.
So what happened is Israel's so disobedient that God allowed them to be taken by the Assyrians in the north, the Israel 10 tribes. They were taken because of their disobedience. God allowed them to be punished this way. And they were scattered over the northern parts of the Promised Land and other parts of Syria, and just bad.
Yeah.
Real bad. And then not too far after that, 100 years or so after that, the south was taken. This is a little different. It was in exile. So Babylon was allowed to come in. Syria in the north, Babylon in the south. And Babylon is go back to Genesis 11, the story of the Tower of Babel. So this Babylon is this epicenter of evil. It's the place where all the demons come out to play. Ugh. And they're bad people, right? And, can I tell you a story? This is
of course. Please.
So, oh my goodness. I'm trying to think. I think it was my wife and I at our 15th anniversary. Oh, man.
Okay.
She wouldn't remember either, so I don't feel bad about not remembering.
Do we need to phone a friend and call Carrie?
No, she's in the pool right now. I think she's fine.
Living her best life.
She's doing great. With our daughter. And the dog's barking,
Oh, I love it. Oh, leave Winnie alone.
Well, she's got Willow with her too. So
both
dogs are.
Oh no, they're so cute.
They are, but they're annoying when they're together. But anyway, so 15, 17 years anniversary. I can't remember which. It was in our teens. Okay, we were teenage married.
Got it.
At age 37 or whatever it was. Mm-hmm. We went out for the first time. We went out to California. And we went to Los Angeles. We went to Hollywood. We just wanted to see the sights. And went to Disneyland. Of course.
Oh, yeah, you gotta.
Right. So we go there, and we spent a day on Hollywood Boulevard.
Cool.
The Hollywood.
Like the stars.
The stars, yes.
The Hollywood Walk of Fame.
Yeah. And then you have this, what's the theater there that's like?
Mann's.
Yeah. The Chinese theater?
Chinese theater? I think so.
So we get off, it's just right off the sidewalk there, the stars, and you walk into this courtyard.
Okay.
It's a courtyard, and it has a lot of shops, 3 or 4 levels.
Cool.
And you go up to like the 3rd or 4th level, and there's this little watch area or sightseeing area.
Oh, cool.
And that's where you see the Hollywood sign to the north, I think, northeast.
Sure. Never been.
Yeah.
I trust you.
My GPS is working, I think. And so I was like, we got to see the sign. Of course, it was foggy, smoggy that day, of course.
Naturally.
But we still got a picture of it,
Nice.
And we actually, I was like, we're here, And we were going down back to the courtyard. And in the courtyard, there's these big animals that are carved into the columns.
Okay.
And there's a little plaque, I guess. And it just says the courtyard of Babylon.
Oh. Interesting.
It just blew. I was like, really? Now, nobody walking around is going, oh, that's interesting. I'm like, this is a biblical theme that starts all the way back to Genesis. It goes all the way into Revelation 17, 18, 19, where Babylon is still seen as the great enemy of God.
Right.
Okay? And so I'm thinking, yeah, I'm in the middle of Hollywood. I'm probably in the middle of the most, immoral piece of land in America.
For sure.
And they call it the courtyard of Babylon.
You were at the epicenter
I was
of
so
madness.
there. I was so there.
Did you see anything crazy?
I've probably seen more crazy things in Vegas than in Hollywood.
I can believe that.
Yeah. Although I was kind of disappointed that it's only like 2 blocks of cool stuff, and then the rest of it's like dangerous.
For sure.
So you just get in the car and you drive out of there.
It's a quick tourist trap, for sure. And then
go to the fresh market. That was fun. Farmers market was
I'm
great.
sure it's really sad to
Venice
see.
Beach was weird. That was the weird people.
Yeah.
We went to Venice.
A lot of good people watching
Santa
there.
Monica Pier. Yeah. Don't think we spent much time doing that.
No,
But yes.
Ross and I got engaged in San Diego.
Oh, wow.
And when we were there, I was like, let's drive up to LA for the day. We rented
Sure.
a convertible while we were there. It was so fun.
Up
And I
down
was
the
like, let's
coast.
drive up to LA. And he was like, hard pass. I have no interest in seeing any of that. And I was like, what? You don't want to see like the Hollywood sign? He goes, I've heard friends that have gone out and it's literally a 15-minute sightseeing and then you're just in this city of traffic.
But you know what? He's right.
And then upon further review, I looked it up because I had to know.
Right.
I let it go quick.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, yeah, it's telling us it's going to take like a really long time to get there.
Yeah.
And it shouldn't.
Right. Oh, yeah.
Simply based on traffic.
Traffic's
I was like,
terrible.
we'll drive up the coast. It'll be so
Right,
cool.
right.
I had this vision in my head and he's like, that's not what it will be. And I was like, oh, okay.
So this whole thing
Yeah.
is, okay, it was a bucket
Imagine
list,
you
bucket
in
list thing. Check.
Did you know that it was the courtyard of Babylon? Or?
No.
Oh, it's just
no,
a
No. I
discovery.
discovered it.
Oh.
And I'm just,
what did Carrie say?
And at that time, I'm teaching Revelation as much as I can because I was into it at that time. I still want to do that, of
For
course.
sure.
But that was like I was spending most of my time there, and I was like, oh my goodness,
Yeah.
Carrie didn't care that much about that.
She was like, oh, look at that.
It's Babylon, whatever.
She's like, that's ironic.
Yeah, but I loved that was there, and it just kind of tied into this whole theme of Babylon.
Yeah.
And that's where we're going to be today. So we're
Okay.
going to be in Babylon because we're going to take the prophets and just boil it down to Daniel. It's really not fair to the rest of them. But let me just say this. There are 5 major prophets and 12 minor. And you asked the question last week about Daniel. Mm-hmm. Well, he's a major.
Okay.
I told you 12 chapters. Like, I think it seems major enough to me.
Pretty major.
He's number 5 of 5. So he's the lowest major.
Okay.
He bridges the gap to the minor. That's why I picked him, I guess.
Ah, okay.
So you have Isaiah. He speaks to Judah. Jeremiah speaks to Judah mostly. Lamentations, Judah. Ezekiel, he talks to the exiles from Judah that are in Babylon. Okay.
Okay.
Daniel, he is literally in Babylon with the exiles, rises to power as far as, that King Nebuchadnezzar wants him in his courtyard and his friends, and a lot of good stuff going on there. So he's speaking in Babylon, like in the middle. He's in the bullseye of evil here, and eventually Persia. And then the minor prophets, Hosea is in the north, Israel. He prophesies there, and he's interesting because he lives out his prophecy by marrying Gomer. That's a great name for a wife.
Gomer?
Gomer!
That's terrible.
I love. Come on, it's Hebrew. It's Old Testament.
I know.
Okay, It's different.
There's some different names in this book.
But so he marries a prostitute.
Okay.
And because she keeps doing her prostitute ways after they're married, he has to buy her back, redeem her.
Oh my gosh.
It's a whole story of his life mirrors God's relationship with Israel.
Oh.
Israel's prostituting against God.
Yeah.
God redeems her, Israel, even though she don't deserve it. And so Hosea is a great story. Joel speaks to Judah. Amos speaks to Israel. And then here's an interesting one. Obadiah speaks to a foreign nation, Edom. Edom, that is I want to say foreign nation and think that it has nothing to do with the story of Israel. It does. It's Esau, Jacob and Esau.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so you have Jacob and Esau. You have the twin brothers.
Yep.
Esau's descendants, Edom.
Oh, okay.
And there's implications for Judah there. Jonah, fabulous. We should just do one on Jonah. Just one episode on Jonah.
Here for it.
He's the prophet that doesn't want to do what God wants him to do. He's the unfaithful prophet. He's told to go to Nineveh, which is like the capital of Assyria. And as we know from Assyria, there's nasty, evil people that took the northern kingdom away.
Good kings, yeah.
And he's up there, and he's told to go there and call them to repent. And he just knows that it's going to happen, and he doesn't like it that it's going to happen. So he hates the grace of God.
Oh.
He's mad at the grace of God.
He's a prophet?
And he's a prophet.
All right. Yeah, I think we need an episode
we know
on that.
We know the fish and all that. We need a whole episode on that.
Oh, my God.
Okay, Mike, we're just going to skip right over Jonah for a minute. Mike speaks to Judah. Nahum speaks to Nineveh. Interesting. He comes back to Nineveh. So Nineveh doesn't just stay in repentance to God forever. Habakkuk, or as my former colleagues say, Habakkuk. I don't know. Everybody, it's cool names. He speaks to Judah. Zephaniah speaks to Judah, and some oracles for other nations as well. Haggai speaks to those who return from exile in Babylon, and they're back in Jerusalem. Zechariah, same thing, exiles that come back to Jerusalem. And then Malachi, the very last of the Old Testament, he is Judah and the priests, how bad they are, how spiritually apathetic they are, how corrupt they are, socially immoral they are. And that's the end of the Old Testament because it ends on that note. Ugh.
What a ride.
Yay, Malachi. Yeah. Malachi is not fun. So
Malachi is a bad guy?
No, he's the prophet that speaks
okay.
to the bad guys in the temple.
Okay.
The priests that are corrupting things and
he's trying to set them straight?
Yep.
Okay.
Oh yeah.
All right.
But I'm just saying the book of Malachi just takes us to the end of the Old Testament.
I see what you're saying. And this is how we're left?
We're left with this mediocre Israel, Judah,
anticlimactic
Jews.
Ending.
Very.
Oh, perfect.
Very.
Okay.
So, but before we get there, let's go back to exile. So let's take ourselves back to exile.
Okay.
We're in Babylon. We're with Daniel. So I just want to give you all the prophets, just to let you know, they speak the truth of God. They're messengers of God to God's people, except for Jonah. And they are trying to convey that you're on the wrong path, and if you don't get on the right path, God's going to allow you to be punished. And indeed, that happens. Assyria in the north, Babylon in the south. And then some of the prophets speak to the people. But here's one of the things that happens throughout the prophets. They give promise that God is going to do something new, that God is going to renew his people, that God is going to come himself and save his people. Now, hindsight, we can look at that and say, well, he does. He brings himself, Jesus, into the mix.
Yeah.
That's how he's ultimately going to do it. But it's kind of cryptic, I guess. It's kind of hidden in plain sight, but it's not spelled out exactly, because if Satan knew, and Paul says this in his letters to the churches, if Satan knew what God was up to, he would have never crucified Jesus, because that was the plan.
Right.
So the Old Testament is kind of cryptic in that they say God's going to come rescue. There's going to be hope. Israel, you're going to come back to the land. Israel, things are going to be okay. Just be faithful to your God, and God's going to do something, but you got to hold on.
That's so interesting.
Mm-hmm.
That if Satan knew, he never would have allowed this, because it's the victory.
Yep.
And it's so interesting to think about, the enemy's thought process, because he never would suspect, like, oh, he's not going to sacrifice his son.
Oh, no. In fact, why not get rid of him?
Yeah. And and if he's really there, then he'll come save his son. Like, oh, just wait.
Oh, I know.
Just wait.
Well, I'm trying to find it. Yeah, here it is. 1 Corinthians 2, just so you know. Let's see how far back I want. Let's go 2:6. We, however, speak a message of wisdom. Paul's talking to the Corinthian church, among the mature, but not the wisdom of this age, nor the ruler of this age, who are coming to nothing. No, we declare God's wisdom a mystery. There it is. That has been hidden, and that God is destined for our glory before time began. So he had this mystery underlying the whole Old Testament the entire time. Grace was there. Hope was there. Salvation was there. Just didn't know it. It says in verse 8, big verse. None of the rulers of this age. What are the rulers of this age? It is not the kings. It is not these pagan nations necessarily. It is the spiritual beings that rebelled against God. It's the Satan and all of his demonic help.
Sure.
All throughout, from Genesis 3 to Genesis 6 to Genesis 11 to all throughout the Old Testament where they stumble and they fall, because behind the scene there's a spiritual warfare going on. And they are tripping Israel up all the way. False worship ups, don't worship God. It says, none of the rulers of this age, that's what he's talking about, understood it. For if they had, they would not have crucified the Lord of glory. No eye has seen, no ear has heard, what no human mind has conceived, the things God prepared for those who love him. These are the things God has revealed to us by his Spirit. And so what Paul's saying is, now we know.
Yeah.
And we didn't used to know.
Right.
So anyway, the prophets give that kind of hope throughout their writings to the Israelites and to Judah in the south and to Israel in the north and to the exiles. And now we have Daniel in the midst of exile, and we have this Israel problem. The problem is, it's always that they're supposed to be the solution, and they become the problem. This whole heaven and earth thing is supposed to be what God wants. That Genesis 1 and 2.
Right.
God's space, our space, Garden of Eden, we're all together, happy, happy, happy. Yeah. And that has been obliterated by now. Yeah. So Israel now and Judah, both kingdoms now, the split kingdom, are part of the problem. They're not the solution anymore. And the experiment of the kings has been pushed over the edge to the point where there's going to be no more kings. Yeah. Because, well, at least not the way they wanted it.
Right.
Because they
got it the way they wanted it for a while, and look how it turned out.
Just didn't work out. No. And so they go off to exile, or they go, the diaspora is what they officially call it. It's the spreading out, the scattering of the Jews in the north and then the exiles in the south. So the prophets, these messengers, bring the project that God has back in line. And they tell people, let's get back in line or you're going to suffer the consequence. And boy, did they suffer. So exile is this, it's a big word. It means more than just, going down to Babylon. It means separation from their temple, separation from the heaven and earth place where we meet with God. Oh, wow. So they felt like they were separated from God by being in exile. Each prophet had a message. You want to get back to that? Or do you want to avoid being in exile? Well, then repent. Turn from your bad ways. Get back to the redeeming project of God. And like most sermons, it goes in one ear, not the other.
I'm like, yeah. Sounds boring.
My job as a preacher on Sundays especially is very much like a prophet, to kind of speak the truth of God. Sure. And in hoping to persuade people to follow what God wants them to do. Yeah. And so everything, it just encompasses that thought process. God gives us a message to share. Will people follow it? Well, like I said, for some prophets, like Hosea, they embodied it and actually married a prostitute. But we're just going to focus on Daniel because, man, we can go 100 different directions.
Yeah, it's going to be endless.
So this is the problem of our own day, doing what's right versus tolerating evil, or doing what is evil. So it centers around this one word, always, the prophets do, and the word is obedience. It's kind of the word from the beginning, too. And the question is, are we going to be obedient? Yeah. Will we listen to the prophets, or will we be pathetic? So I call it prophetic or pathetic.
I love it.
We're going to listen to prophets and what they have to say, or we're going to do our own thing. So Daniel enters into the scene. I'm just going to blow this as quickly as I can, okay?
All right.
he is brought into King Nebuchadnezzar. King Neb. We'll call him King Neb. Neb. So he's the king over Babylon.
Okay.
Can't
imagine he's a great guy.
Not a scrupulous character. You know, he's got his morals out of line for sure.
I'm sure to rule a place like that, you can't exactly be on the straight and narrow.
And so, no, he's influenced by the demonic realm, right?
Sure, yeah,
totally.
Yeah.
So there's a test of character that takes place, and it's going to be God's way versus King Nebuchadnezzar's way. And the first test is in chapter 1 of Daniel, where, eat the king's food when you're coming into my, you're going to be part of my council. You're going to be part of my leadership here. You get the king's food. And Daniel says, no, why don't you test me and my friends? We'll just eat fruits and veggies and water. You can have the meat and the wine. And it says after 10 days of them eating this and the rest of the king's palace eating the big stuff, that Daniel and their friends looked stronger and healthier than ever compared to everybody else, which is interesting.
Very.
So the first thing we learn about obedience, and Daniel's kind of like this character. He's the prophet and a character inside the story, which is so cool.
Yeah.
It's like we get to watch a prophet not only speak to, but also embody and live out his message.
Okay, that's cool.
Day by day. That's why I like Daniel.
That's cool.
There's so much to him. I'm only going to scratch the surface too, as always. Well, you want more, right?
I mean, I'm probably going to ask, but
it's okay.
I'll try to keep it 30,000 feet above.
Sure, we'll do our best.
I'm going to try.
So in this eating test,
they become vegan and sober.
They become pretty vegan.
Vegan and sober. Got it.
And sober.
Yeah.
And stronger.
And they're just flourishing.
And after 10 days, man, they come out hot. And so
yeah.
Obedience, I think, develops character.
Mm-hmm.
See what King Nebuchadnezzar wants to do, and what every foreign nation under the spell of demonic influence, what they want to do is turn the next generation into good Babylonians, especially Israelites.
Ah, okay.
Indoctrinate them with education and give them new names.
Mm.
Belteshazzar is Daniel's name. I just don't like saying that name often because it's so hard to say. Belteshazzar.
That's a mouthful.
I know.
Daniel.
Daniel works for me. Very English.
All right.
So it's the indoctrination of education, new names, and food. I'm the king of indoctrination. You can see what I'm wearing today.
I'm pretty sure if there was an embodiment of indoctrination for Michigan
State.
Sports.
Michigan State.
I'm sorry, Michigan State.
I haven't indoctrinated
there
you
enough. I was just going to say.
Don't ever say just Michigan. That's the enemy. Okay? So I have a Michigan State shirt on today. My kids were born in Illinois, raised in Illinois, still, 1 out of 3 of them still lives in Illinois.
Okay.
None of them have ever lived in the state of Michigan.
Right.
They're all big Michigan State Spartan fans.
But they have ties through you. You grew up in Michigan.
Only through me and their grandfather.
I think that's
and my grandmother.
It's a pretty hefty tie, but you had
just 3 people and maybe Aunt Angela. Their aunt, my sister.
Is she cool? Do they like her?
Yeah.
Then of course they were going to get on her side.
Sure.
Here's what I'm going to tell you. You had a good platform for making sure that they ended up Michigan State fan. Here's my problem as a Green Bay Packers fan. Never lived in Wisconsin. No ties to Wisconsin, and love Green Bay, Wisconsin. Okay.
That's weird.
I'm losing that battle with my kids.
Oh, totally.
What I would give to have a cool aunt that lives up in Wisconsin. To spoil my kids rotten so that they become cheeseheads like me. Because I am losing that fight, Scott.
So you need to buy your kids cheeseheads for Christmas, right? Just get them
They have it all.
cheeseheads. They probably have it. They don't want to wear it.
When they get a Bears helmet for Christmas, they also get a Packers helmet. And guess which one they prefer?
It's because of Ross.
Henry says it to win our love, depending on what he wants. So he's using it as a way to say this is a great example. We had these little ISEs from football camp that we got. A bunch of the gym supported the end of football camp with ICs for all 220 kids. Kids, cheerleaders, coaches, all of it. So we had some left over because, of course you can't just buy 220. The box count is a little off. Brought them home. When Henry wants one from Dad, do you know what he says? Hey, Dad, can I have an IC? Dad Bears.
He says that?
Randomly. Without prompting. Without anything. And Ross was like, I probably would have told him yes, but cool, man.
Oh, it's to get something from Dad.
To get something.
Oh, okay.
So then he'll come to me and then he'll say, hey, Mom, go, Pat, go. Can I have some ice cream? And I'm like, say it louder. And he's like, go, Pat, go. Can I have some ice cream? And I'm like, yeah.
If you say go, Pat, go.
Did you tell Dad to bears for the last one? He's like,
yeah.
Maybe. I'm like, oh.
That's
so
funny.
Henry's using it as a manipulation tool. And you know what? It works.
That is so funny.
We're allowing it.
That's
James
great.
is my last shot to tip the scales because Henry's right in the middle. Henry's going to end up like a freaking Vikings fan or something.
Yeah,
if you do some work on him, maybe you can get him into the Lions. But I'm going to be upset no matter what.
Detroit's going to win it this year.
I'm going to be upset no matter what. I think you might be right. But anyway, indoctrination.
Start soon.
Indoctrination can be done.
So the Daniel diet. Some have used the Daniel diet as some secret biblical formula to lose weight or health. You might, but that's not what it's about.
Okay.
It's a diet to preserve holiness. It's a diet to develop character. It's a diet to show your obedience to God over the king.
Okay.
And so food that could have been offered to other gods, creating this false dependency on the king, was all about this test of character for Daniel. So you either become pathetic or prophetic. You either eat the king's food or you develop character. And Daniel and his friends endured that test and chose character.
Wow.
So then the next story is worse. Daniel's three friends, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego.
These names. I couldn't tell you those back if you paid me. Say it one more time.
Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego. Okay.
I'm not going to try that.
That's
but
okay. Those three of his they have this edict that comes down. It says everybody must bow down to the false god image, and if they don't, you get thrown into the fiery furnace.
Oh.
And so Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego don't bow down, and so they tie them up with ropes, and they are angry at them for not worshiping their God and not bowing down when they were called to, and they throw them in. In fact, it says that some of the servants that threw them in, the fire was so hot, they raged it so hot, some of the servants that threw them in died too because they got swallowed up by the fire.
Oh my gosh, it got too close.
Yeah, it got too close.
Ooh.
So
that's horrible.
It is horrible, and it's a simple lesson. Obedience builds trust because the three don't die.
What?
No. They go into the fire, and it says they came out of the fire untouched, no smoke smell on them.
What?
And nothing was singed, none of their hairs and the rope, none of it. 100% foolproof death. 100%.
Took the servants that were getting too close.
Can you imagine this scenario where they go in and they're certain death, and then what's interesting is King Neb and his servants they look in when they're in the fire and they're like, how many do you count? And they counted 4.
Oh, that's crazy. I have goosebumps.
Yeah, they count 4 in the fire. I thought we said 3 in there. Now there's 4, but then 3 come out.
What?
So we can deduce pretty easily that
That's wild.
a manifestation of God himself, maybe the pre-incarnate Jesus himself, and I have no problem with that concept, and we'll do that next season. But
fun.
There's many times where God, he shows himself as a man in front of Abraham back in Genesis, and so
it's not the first time we've seen a sort of image in our likeness, in his likeness, I suppose, not chicken and egg,
right?
Like in his likeness, but also our likeness because of his likeness. Follow me here. That could go on forever. So that's not the first time we've seen it. So
I'm confused.
I'm sorry.
It's okay, but I'm with you. I get what you're going.
Do you see where I'm trying to steer this bus? Okay.
Sure.
We see something in our likeness, which is his likeness. So
yeah,
it's not the first time. That's what I'm getting at.
Exactly.
It looks like a guy in the fire.
Basically, it looks like something God would do.
Sure.
Yeah. And so he does. Wow. He saves them from within the fire, from this foolproof death.
That's wild.
3 are bound, 4 are unbound in the fire, and then 3 come out unharmed. That's just an amazing thing. And good grief, you just have a campfire in your backyard, and you're taking a shower and washing your clothes because the smoke's all over it, right?
Your hair.
Yeah. Imagine being in the middle of the furnace and
nothing.
God saves them within the fire. And I would say this, heaven and earth were in that fire. Wow. Inside of it. And that takes extreme trust. And so, that's the other thing about the prophets and everything. They're asking the people of God to trust God.
Yeah.
Not just to obey him, develop character, but to trust him. And it's a message for us too. I mean, it's a message of, do we trust God to build our character inside of us? Do we trust God, period, with our obedience and this unwavering faith that says even death's worth it? Mm-hmm. And these people, these guys, Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego, they trusted him.
Total faith. That even if the worst thing happens, it's going to be okay.
In a culture where other gods are worshipped, our God shows up. Our obedience lays a bedrock of trust for the God who shows up. Mm-hmm. And only through obedience, even to death, do we find and trust and have confidence in our God. And, of course, we know Jesus learned that lesson, too. He went all the way to death, but trusted God to raise him from the dead. So you have this pathetic choice of bowing down to other gods, false philosophies, empty morality, or you have this prophetic choice to live a life trusting God who can save you through the fire. Okay.
Wow.
So we're not done with testing in Daniel.
Okay.
Chapter 6. So we did chapter 1, chapter 3, chapter 6. Daniel survives the ultimate test of trust and obedience.
So pit of fire just wasn't enough.
Yes, furnace full of raging fire. No.
Well, no. We got more.
Let's have a pit that has a bunch of hungry lions in it, a den of lions.
Oh. Okay. Sounds like a horrible way to die.
I'm really fast forwarding through the historical story here, but King Nebuchadnezzar goes crazy and he loses his power. Now the Babylonians are taken over by the Persians, so there's a whole power shift. And the Persians are a little more, let's say, tolerant toward the Jews that are in exile. A little more friendly, let's say. And Daniel still rises the power. He's kind of like Joseph in this sense. He's wise, and they want him around. They like his wisdom, and he's able to just interpret dreams like Joseph. He's doing these awesome things for them.
Okay.
But then some evil goes on behind the scenes, the backdoor deals with King Darius. So King Darius is the new king in town, and King Darius is Persian, and his behind the scenes guys are crafting an edict that says, anybody who bows down or prays to any other god but you, King Darius, and our gods, they shall be thrown into the lion's den.
For our entertainment.
For our entertainment.
I had to. I'm sorry.
Sure. Absolutely.
But truly.
Yes.
There had to be some sort of sick entertainment they got out of it.
I'm sure it did.
Otherwise, why that death? Why that execution, if not to watch them?
And so if the first, the first story is all four guys, Daniel, Shadrach, Meshach, Abednego, not eating the king's food, coming out healthier after 10 days. Small test of character, good test. Shadrach, Meshach, and Abednego get thrown into the fire but are saved.
Yeah.
Okay. Now it's Daniel's turn. And this obedience that Daniel portrays and actually lives out reveals God's transforming power, and it's huge. And it's so big that they made this edict. Nobody bows down to any other god.
Was the edict like a law?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cannot be changed, cannot be annulled, nothing. It's in stone.
Permanent law.
Yep.
Got it.
And Darius is tricked into writing that even though he likes Daniel. He likes him.
He's feeling pressure. That he probably thinks, if I don't agree to this, they're going to kill me and overthrow me.
Yeah, but he might even know that Daniel would worship any other god or pray to any other god. But Daniel had a prayer life that was very consistent, same time of the day. And after this edict was given to the king and he signs it into law, Daniel goes to his place of prayer, opens the windows, and lets everybody know, I'm praying to Yahweh God, the only God. And they catch him. That's exactly what they wanted to have happen. They trap him.
They knew what was going to happen.
Yep.
Set him up.
Pull him in, and they tell King Darius, and Darius is distraught over this. No, not Daniel. But the law is the law, and I got to follow it. So what does he do? Tosses him down into the lion's den and says, I hope your God saves you.
Oh.
And shuts the door and just can't hardly sleep that night.
Oh, so they don't watch. It's not like a spectacle. I'm thinking like
I don't know about
I'm thinking
that.
like the Colosseum.
It could be like that for maybe King Darius. I'm sure he just couldn't stand it.
Just couldn't watch because he
this
liked
is his
Daniel.
friend,
Yeah.
basically, or somebody he liked.
Sure.
And God saves Daniel from the lion's den. Shuts them. The text says he shuts the mouths of the lions, and he doesn't die. Okay. And then when he comes, and Darius finds him early in the morning and says, "Daniel, has your God saved you?" He's like, "Yes, he's been good to me."
I'm starving in here.
Now, if you ever watch VeggieTales, they have a great version of it. They're all having, as they tell the story in VeggieTales.
This is great. My kids love VeggieTales.
Have you seen this story?
I've
Daniel?
watched like here and there, but
So
I
when
was
Darius,
so young.
when King Darius comes back to whatever veggies down there, I can't remember which one it was. They're having pizza.
Oh.
Yeah. We're just down here having pizza. A fun scene, right?
They fired up the pizza oven in the cave.
It's right in the cave. Yeah.
Churned up some cheese.
Somehow.
Cooked up a pizza.
That's right. A little pepperoni.
Do you want a piece?
Right. So
I'll be out in a while.
That's the humorous way that VeggieTales portrays the story, and I think it was fantastic.
VeggieTales.
Darius brings them out and then makes a new decree. Everybody is going to bow down and worship Daniel's God, the God of the universe, the Yahweh God, the God of the Israelites, the God of the Jews. So I always ask this question: what would you do if our president, if any president of any leader of any country were to stand up and declare that the God of Abraham, Isaac, Jacob, the God who came as a human in Jesus, the God who sent his Holy Spirit, that he is God and we should worship him only? I think I would pass out. Oh. If any leader of any country in this world today would come out and say that, I'd be like, wow, that's amazing.
Oh, I have no words for that.
Phenomenal. And yet that's exactly what happens. King Darius comes out and says, well, Daniel's God is the God. Mm-hmm. Oh, it's beautiful. And and then he goes into more, after chapter 6, chapter 7 through 12 is more apocalyptic visions and dreams that Daniel has. Some about the future. He's one of the prophets that has kind of future-driven visions that God gives him about what's to take place.
And this is in Babylon still?
Yeah.
So he takes Babylon, epicenter of evil, demonic behavior,
Yep.
the worst place you'd probably ever want to find yourself.
Yes.
As a believer.
By the way,
in God.
just to put it in context, modern day Iraq.
Oh, gotcha. Okay. So just
And Persia, modern day Iran.
Got it.
Okay. So all those countries.
This is where we're at. Mm-hmm. And because David, jeez, can't get these guys straight.
That's right.
Because Daniel chummed it up with the lions and was saved by God. Truly, cooking pizza, VeggieTales version.
Sure.
I like that imagery.
I do too.
But truly was probably like nervous wreck all night long, but just praying, I'm sure, to his God to keep him safe. And he does. God delivers. God keeps him safe.
Yep.
And then turns it around to now this king is like, hey, Babylon, I know we've been like running amok for hundreds, thousands of years around, maybe at this point. Now, Daniel's God rocks. We're going to follow that one and that one only.
Yeah.
Ditch the rest.
Yeah.
How incredible to turn centuries around.
It's amazing.
By that example. By now, not only the fire, but then the lions, and it's irrefutable at that point.
Just don't.
The fact that it took 2 tests is kind of wild, but
Right.
I think the fire would have impressed me enough.
Right.
But I am not a mad king, so.
That was King Nebi, and then we have King Darius over here.
Oh, I'm sorry. There was 2 kings.
Right.
Okay.
King Nebi, King Darius.
My bad.
But still, it's
hard to keep these fellas straight, But
I know. There's a lot going on historically.
But
yes.
to know that Babylon was then headed in a better direction because
For very short period of time.
It always is. It's
And
never permanent.
Yeah.
But the fact that it could even be done
right.
is so insane to me.
Yep.
That's so cool.
And the Persians were just good to the Jews in general.
Good.
Now.
Somebody ought to be. For at least a while.
Now
Look on your face doesn't look good.
No, this is going to be fun.
Okay.
So here's how we're going to drive this home.
Oh boy. I need to get comfortable.
Yeah, you need to. This is where the mind goes, oh my goodness, how does the Bible do this?
Okay.
How does Jesus do this? Because he and his story and the passion of Christ in his last hours on the earth last days on the earth before he died and was raised from the dead.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my, let me just set it up like that.
Okay.
Okay. So this is the climactic part of Daniel's story.
Okay.
And you're going to see the exact same things repeated in the Passion of Christ.
Ooh.
See if this sounds familiar.
Okay.
Daniel's a victim of conspiracy.
Ah.
Jesus
Mm-hmm.
have Judas come over and give him a kiss.
Yeah.
And say he's the one. He's innocent, but they're going to take him away. Betrayed by people who are threatened by his position. There's the religious leaders and everything, and it's going on in Jesus' day. Daniel's betrayed by people who are threatened by his position.
Yeah.
They seek to manipulate the authorities to execute him, write the law, can't pray.
Yep.
We heard Jesus say he's going to build his temple up. He's claimed to be the temple. He's blasphemous. He deserves to die. So they trump up charges on him.
Okay.
Daniel's arrested, and Daniel's arrested at the place of prayer.
While he's praying.
Jesus was in the Garden of Gethsemane, praying with his disciples, mostly them sleeping, but when Judas and the Roman soldiers come and take him away and arrest him.
Wow.
Daniel's arrested in prayer. Jesus arrested in prayer. The higher authorities find no fault in Daniel, King Darius. Nothing wrong with him. Pontius Pilate, I see nothing wrong with him, and my wife's had a bad dream because of him. She did.
Right.
And he wipes his hands clean and says, I'm going to hand him over to you guys.
Yeah.
And in fact, Pontius Pilate wanted to set Jesus free, and King Darius wants to set Daniel free, but the law forbid him to do so.
Mm.
So Daniel has to rely on God to deliver him from a sealed tomb.
Oh.
And as the sun rises, very early in the morning, Daniel's found to be alive. And as the sun rises on the third day,
goosebumps. Oh my gosh.
Jesus is found to be alive.
Whoa.
All sound familiar?
A little too. Yeah.
So you just put Jesus into the story of Daniel and it comes out.
So
Same
much
story.
foreshadowing. God
Yes.
was like, it's coming.
Yes.
It's coming. I have a plan. Does this look familiar? Y'all have seen this before. The signs are there. Don't tell the serpent. But
Right.
it's coming. And I've shown you that it's coming. I'm coming.
And
My son is coming.
And Daniel, as a prophet, lives out. You get the
I
goosebumps.
literally, for the listener, I'm showing Scott, I'm wearing the most gigantic oversized sweater today because where we record is cold. But that is like, those are some goosebumps. Holy moly.
And it's amazing how that happens in the life of a prophet, because that story of Jesus is coming soon. It's coming soon.
Yeah.
And the hope is coming. And everybody's kind of jacked up for that hope now. And Daniel kind of ends in that place of obedience, in that place of trust, that place of character, that place of total reliance upon God.
Where we want to keep it.
And standing up to the powers around us and all the evil sons of God and their demonic, spiritual being, rebellious nature that is just pressing in all around these nations.
All the disobedience.
It's
flying around.
All around and in his own people. Mm-hmm. And yet it sets him apart that he is this trusting, this obedient to God. And his story will be, like you said, foreshadowed to Jesus' own story. And it's so beautiful how the Bible just links it all together.
So beautiful. I mean, wow. I have no words. I'm going to have to digest this. That is so crazy.
So good, isn't it?
That is so crazy.
So,
and you just told that whole story, and I never would have seen those parallels without you pointing it out. Because I'm like, dang, this is a good story. It's almost like we've heard it before. I enjoy this story. Wonder why.
You probably know the one better.
You know
the Jesus story better.
That's what I mean. Like I've heard.
But the Daniel story is already there.
The Daniel story is brand new to me, and probably a lot of the listeners who are like me and just learning the Bible. But I'm sure I could argue too that everyone was like, "This is a great story." Like, wow, he really comes out on top here. There's so much evidence of his faith and his obedience to God. And then you tell us that it very similarly mimics the walk of Jesus in the very final moments and the way it ends. or begins. Again, that's another argument for another time.
I would say
missed that entirely. I would have just thought, that's a nice story. I love that.
I would say it this way. The Daniel story doesn't mimic Jesus. Jesus
sure. Again.
mimics Daniel, right?
Again. It's like,
It's just there. It sits there, and it's a connecting of dots.
Yeah.
And it keeps driving home this idea. The Bible tells one great big story. And that's the one we're trying to tell you now through this podcast, because we want people to know this great story and to have confidence. This is the key, to have confidence that it is true, that it holds together. I mean, Daniel, we're talking about, let me think, almost 500 years, but 400 to 500 years before Jesus.
Yeah.
So many generations later, many authors later, they're writing and tying the loose ends up.
All pointing to the same thing.
Yep. And that's why we love the Bible so much.
Yeah. It just continues.
So what we're going to do, okay, breathe. We just got done with the Old Testament. Yay.
Wow. Old Testament's over. Now what?
The good stuff.
Now what?
So we just went 10 episodes to get us through the Old Testament, and that was pretty exciting. And we're going to launch into the New Testament soon.
Okay.
But I've got one surprise, and it's the next episode. I decided this last week I wanted to add one more episode to the series. Instead of 13, it'll be 14.
Classic Zorn.
It is. It is.
Okay, just one more.
Just one more, because it's so exciting.
Surprise episode. So it'll be a bonus episode.
In your Bible, there's a blank page between the Old and New Testament. You're done with Malachi. Turn the page, it's white. The next page, Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John. Boom, boom, boom. There's a lot going on that one page that's blank. 400 years, they call it 400 years of silence. What they mean by that is 400 years of God not revealed in a
significant manner.
Let's call it inspired manner by the Holy Spirit to be written down for us.
Oh, okay.
And so that it's not been included. Anything that goes on in those 400 years is not Bible.
Got it.
Okay. But there's so much going on in those 400 years that I don't want you to miss it, because some of the stuff in the New Testament won't make sense if you don't know what went on in between.
Right.
So it's a Connect Dots episode.
Cool.
From the Old and New Testament.
We're going to bridge a 400-year gap.
Yep. And it's going to be pretty cool.
Cool.
And I got the aid of my dear father, who wrote a booklet called Between the Testaments, The 400 Silent Years, Walter D. Zorn. And you can buy it on Amazon. I always say that.
I know.
Buy the dad book.
Walter Zorn has many books.
Yeah, well, several. But, this is a good one because he did his doctorate at PhD stuff at Michigan State University.
Oh, of course.
Over this period of time in between the Testaments. And so he knows a lot about it. What I'm going to do is give you, again, the 30,000. I might even go 50,000 foot view on this one because there's so much I can't get to it. But I got to give you just the broad picture. So that's next week. And trust me, even though it's not biblical text, it's good stuff.
I can't wait.
Good stuff. So thanks for hanging with us through the Old Testament.
Ooh, we made it. Old Testament is complete. We have just one more episode to it's a bridge episode.
It's a bridge.
It's a bridge episode. And then we'll get into New Testament.
And saltybiblepodcast@gmail.com. Anytime you have questions, let us know. And what's the 3 S's, Blair?
We need to ask you to please share. Please share with a friend. Share with a family member. Share on your socials. We are at Salty Bible Podcast on Instagram and Facebook. If you could subscribe, please, either on YouTube, Apple Podcasts, or Spotify. And submit a review. Please hit that 5th star wherever you listen. We appreciate all of you guys so much. Thank you for listening to 10 episodes of the Salty Bible Podcast. We're celebrating a little bit here today.
Yeah, well, by the way, we're also celebrating something else.
What?
Okay. In just a couple of days.
That's right.
Happy birthday.
Happy birthday.
Yeah.
We're almost birthday twins.
I know.
We're so close.
So close. A few hours away.
We're 59 minutes because you're August 28th.
Yep.
And I am August 29th, but
Yep.
I was born at 12:59 a.m.
And I was born at 9:45 p.m.
So I would have been August 28th by just 59 minutes.
Yeah, I was just basically we're born 4 hours apart plus
Several years.
19 years.
Yeah.
So for 4 hours, I'm 20 years older than you.
Exactly.
So happy birthday.
Some math. Happy birthday.
Yay.
Happy birthday to us. We will see you guys next time.
Yep. See you later.